All right, so today I'm going to tell you about the difference between the barbell and why we would want to use that in our training versus the sandbag and how we incorporate that in the training. So first of all, I really recommend doing a planned program that you're on and workouts as opposed to just random. For me, in my mind, random is something that kind of rookies do when you're just starting out. My job keeps things random enough as a fireman, but when it comes to training, I like to have a plan and a program, and you can check out my plans and programs on Venture Athlete. So the difference between using a barbell and a sandbag. So why would we want to use a barbell? So the barbell is unparalleled for safety, for progressing and increasing weight. You can the handle and the grip is the same every time. You can dial in your form, you can dial in your technique with repetitions. It's going to be the same time you come up to the bar, you grip the bar. It's consistent and it's safe because you can slowly increase or decrease the weight. You got the different weight plates you can use, bumper plates to protect the ground if you're going to be dropping the weight. And then of course the big difference is when you're building strength and improving on technique for sport, you have plates that you can just add or drop very easily, very quickly. So when you're doing percentage-based strength programming, which is what I use and I recommend, you can actually dial it into the specific weight that you need to do for that lift that day. Again, it's safe, it's consistent, and it's highly adjustable, but they are very expensive and they're limited in their use, and I'll tell you about that when I talk about the sandbags. So when you're using sandbags, what I like about sandbags is you can perform many of the functional movements that you're doing with the barbell, but it's much more varied. You can have the similar grip that you would be familiar with the barbell by gripping the sandbag by these types of handles here or on the sides, or you can go with like a hammer grip, but you're going to be able to perform many of the same lifts such as thrusters, squats. But what you can really do with the sandbags, and what I like about them, is you can do rotational work. You can throw them, you can drag them, toss them, drop them, and the sandbag is not as consistent of a grip as you're using on the barbell. So that's going to cause you to challenge yourself more and to have to adapt a little bit more. So I use the barbell for strength work, percentage-based lifting, back squatting, front squatting, overhead squatting. If I'm trying to improve my technique or increase weight over time, I'm going to be using the barbell because I can dial in the weights. I like to use the sandbags for all the functional training, perhaps the metcons. If there's a movement that I can do, I'm familiar with doing on the barbell, if I'm not concerned about swapping out weight, I'll use the sandbag for that. You can still do thrusters, squats, snatches, tosses, and it's a little more variable, and you can do a lot more things with the sandbag. But I do like to incorporate it not just at random, but part of a plan and a program. And again, check out Venture Athlete if you want me to help you with that. I got programs that are dialed in, ready to go. It's like $1 a workout. But another thing to consider with the COVID scare and everything and social distancing, barbells you're able to decon. You can wipe down the surface, you can decon it. You're going to have a lot more trouble if you have a gym or you're sharing equipment with a sandbag because they're going to absorb sweat, they're going to get dirty. You can wash the bag, but it's not as easy as wiping something down. So if you have a gym or a CrossFit gym or you're doing programs as teams, you're going to need to have a sandbag individual for each person working out if you're worried about any type of contamination. So just some things to consider. And if you want to know how to incorporate sandbag training as part of your strength and conditioning work, that's really something I feel like I've been specializing in and incorporating, is using the sandbags as part of the overall strength and conditioning program. Very versatile. I like it a lot, but those are just some differences for you to consider when you're going to be using a barbell or a sandbag for your individual training or for team or group training. So visit ventureathlete.com Check me out, Prep and Defend, on Instagram or Facebook and YouTube. And please ask me questions. Let me know how I can help you out. The programs are dialed in, ready for you to go. You can check those out as well for less than $1 a workout. Thanks.